Right now, crypto in America has a problem.
Not a technical problem. A legal one. Every exchange, every token issuer, every DeFi protocol operating in the US is navigating a regulatory gray zone. The SEC says most tokens are securities. The CFTC says some are commodities. Courts keep issuing conflicting rulings. And companies are stuck guessing which agency might sue them next. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's driving the industry offshore.
90% of crypto spot trading and 80% of futures already happen outside the United States. Singapore, the UAE, the EU, they all wrote clear rules. America wrote enforcement actions. The Clarity Act is designed to fix this. And it's the closest we have ever come to actually doing it. The Clarity Act, formerly H.R. 3633, does one thing above everything else. It draws a clear legal line between what the SEC regulates and what the CFTC regulates when it comes to digital assets. It creates three categories. First, digital commodities, things like Bitcoin that function more like gold or oil. These go to the CFTC. Second, investment contract assets, tokens that behave like securities. These go to the SEC. Third, regulated payment stablecoins, with their own framework under federal oversight. The bill also does four critical things. It creates a federal registration pathway for crypto exchanges. It shields open-source developers from being treated as money transmitters. It mandates customer asset segregation in bankruptcy. And it bans the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency. This is the most comprehensive crypto legislation ever written in the United States. To understand why this bill matters, you need to understand what happens without it. Since 2021, the SEC has filed over 130 enforcement actions against crypto companies. Coinbase, Ripple, Kraken, Binance. Each case takes years to litigate. Each ruling creates more confusion, not less. Meanwhile, the rest of the world moved on. Europe passed MiCA, a comprehensive crypto framework that went into effect in 2024. The UAE created a dedicated crypto regulator. Singapore licenses exchanges under the Payment Services Act. Hong Kong launched a mandatory licensing regime. The result? Capital is flowing to jurisdictions with clear rules. The U.S. share of global crypto trading volume has dropped from over 40% to under 20% in just 3 years. The Clarity Act isn't just about regulation. It's about competitiveness. It's about whether America wants to lead the next era of finance. The bill passed the House in July 2025 with a massive 294 to 134 vote. 78 Democrats crossed the aisle. It cleared the Senate Banking Committee in May 2026 with a 15-9 bipartisan vote. But the Senate floor is a different beast. You need 60 votes to overcome a filibuster. Republicans hold 53 seats. That means at least 7 Democrats must say yes. The sticking point? Ethics enforcement. Democrats want state attorneys general to have enforcement power over elected officials who violate the bill's ethics provisions. Republicans want enforcement to stay with the Department of Justice only. President Trump agreed to what Senator Lummis calls the strongest ethics rules in U.S. history, a ban on the president, Congress, and federal judges from issuing or sponsoring digital assets. But Democrats say it's still not enough. Senator Lummis took to the Senate floor and asked directly, what specific provision is still missing? She said continued delay without a specific ask amounts to a deliberate decision to run out the clock and kill the bill. Polymarket now prices the odds of passage at just 25%. Here is what makes this moment different from every other crypto bill that died in Congress. The endorsements are unprecedented. BlackRock, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab, Franklin Templeton. Together, these firms represent more than $35 trillion in assets under management. The National Fraternal Order of Police reversed its opposition and endorsed the bill. The major cities' chiefs association backed it. All 50 state credit union leagues are on board. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is publicly demanding the Senate vote. He posted on X accusing Democrats of blocking the bill because they fear Senator Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army. The bill contains more than 30 Democrat-driven edits in Title I alone. 3 entirely new titles were added at Democrats' request, 23 sections targeting illicit finance, sanctions compliance for DeFi, and new authority against platforms facilitating money laundering for Russia, Iran, and North Korea. The bill also adds $150 million in new FinCEN yen funding and another $150 million for the CFTC. Lummis' argument is simple: Democrats got nearly everything they asked for. So what happens if the Clarity Act doesn't pass?
SEC Chairman Paul Atkins went on CNBC and said his agency is ready, willing, and able to come out with rules that address the same issues.
But here is the catch. Agency rules can be reversed by the next administration. A bill signed into law is codified, much harder to overturn. And the clock is ticking. The Senate recess starts August 7th. After that, midterm elections consume the calendar. If Clarity doesn't pass now, it likely doesn't pass until 2027 at the earliest. Meanwhile, the capital that left isn't coming back on its own. Senator Lummis warns that if the Clarity Act fails, that capital is gone for good. Here is the bottom line. The Clarity Act matters because it answers the single most important question in crypto right now: does America want to lead, or does it want to watch? If it passes, crypto in America gets clear rules for the first time. Exchanges can register. Developers can build. Investors can trade without wondering if the SEC will call it a security tomorrow. If it fails, the status quo continues. More enforcement. More confusion. More capital flowing to Singapore, Dubai, and London. The vote is next week. The window closes August 7th. And whether you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other crypto, this bill affects you. If you found this valuable, subscribe. I break down crypto policy and market moves every week. Drop a comment. Do you think the Clarity Act passes, or does it die in the Senate?